evening. It's Angelo Christian Financial. Thank you so much for watching our podcast. Your nationwide lender. Appreciate everyone watching the show tonight. So we got a lot of great content that we're going to be talking about this evening. Every Thursday, we do our Talk with Angelo live. It's kind of where you can tune in, ask questions, get information, update on the market. We lend nationwide, so if you have any questions, need help with funding, obviously, call or text our office, 832-431-6331. So got a few interesting things that I want to talk about this evening. Hey, Kevin, good evening. Thank you so much, everyone, for watching the show and the channel. So, a couple topics I want to be talking about tonight. And remember, you guys, if you have questions, you can ask questions too. If there's anything that you want to go over, anything that you want to discuss. So, the few things I want to be talking about tonight. Hey, Chris, good evening. Thank you so much for tuning in. So, the best market for investors, I want to talk about that because we're seeing a ton of foreclosures right now. And there's a lot of great areas where you can actually buy, rental properties on the cheap, whether it's single family or multifamily. Okay. So there are some hot spots that I think that are really good. And then we're going to be talking about, building homes, where are the great areas to build houses. There are some places, obviously, that are more expensive, some places that are cheaper to build homes. So depending on, what market you're in, what type of home you're looking to build, because the cost of construction has risen a lot, and you got to see, what is going to make the most sense for you and your project. Then we're going to be talking about first-time buyer programs. Some of the best areas for first-time buyer programs. Is there better cities that are more affordable for first-time buyer? And obviously it is, because some cities are a lot cheaper to live in than others, and then obviously some cities have better amenities. So there's a trade-off, and you just got to really see what you like better. So that's what I wanted to talk about tonight. Like I said, if you guys have any questions, anything you want to discuss, feel free to ask me. So going to the best market for investors, what I see that from actively helping investors to build their portfolio, or from data that we've researched, whether that was from Bloomberg, Wall Street Journal. There's a few markets that I think that are really good based on everything that we've seen in the last 20 years of being in this business. Obviously location is critical, right? So areas like Orlando, Florida. Hey, Brian, good evening. Hope you're doing well, bud. Oklahoma City, I think, is an up-and-coming area. A lot of people have missed Oklahoma City. It hasn't been on their radar because they kind of think of it as kind of a rural area or kind of like farm country, but it's actually a really cool city, and a lot of things are happening in Oklahoma City. And you also have to think about like places like, Austin, Texas, which is an amazing area, but to get in and try and make money there as a real estate investor, it's a lot harder today than it was 20 years ago. So you have to be looking at, where's the upside, where's the opportunity, right? So, now, I'm not saying that Oklahoma is my favorite place. Florida is one of my favorite states, and I think there's still a lot of good opportunity in Florida. One of the ones that I think is very interesting, and I think it's going to be a great play, for the next several decades, is Tennessee. I think Tennessee is a very good market and a great place that you can purchase real estate still at an affordable rate. So I don't know if you guys looked at Tennessee. Memphis, Nashville, very good areas. And you can either, the cost of construction is still fairly reasonable there, and you can still find properties on the market, whether they're REO foreclosures or flips or whatever, at fairly attractive prices compared to places like Los Angeles or New York City or even Miami. So check out Nashville. Another one that is really good is Ohio. Ohio's a great market. Michigan's a great market because the properties are still affordable, and you can find good tenants to be able to lease to or to sell to. There's a lot of down payment assistance programs, a lot of things you can do, they help the end buyer to get into that property. So the other thing, yeah, so, depending on what you're looking for, whether it's long-term rentals, short-term rentals is a big thing. And, the thing is, if you do short-term rentals, you got to be careful because the local, government can change the requirements for short-term rentals. Sometimes some areas were initially short-term rental friendly, and then they banned all the short-term rentals, and it put a lot of pressure on those investors that own those properties. So that's the one thing you just got to be careful is if your business model is Airbnb or VRBO, that you can do it in an area that's pro short-term rentals, because I've seen some investors get in trouble because they went in heavy all in doing short-term rentals, and then over a few years those areas got banned from doing Airbnb, and then they had to liquidate or restructure, and they didn't make as much money as they thought they were, because long-term leases, you don't make as much money on a long-term lease, generally speaking, compared to an Airbnb property. Oh, I don't know how many of you guys watching the show invest in real estate, what your participation is or your engagement level, but those are some really good areas. I mean, obviously Tampa is a beautiful area and it's up and coming. A lot of good stuff going on over there. Orlando, obviously a no-brainer. Probably one of the most trafficked areas in America, because of Disney and Universal and all that stuff over there. And then you just have up and coming areas like Oklahoma City, Nashville, Memphis, stuff like that. Speaking of construction, going and changing gears over to construction, some of the best places to build. Now, this measurement is based on, from an affordability standpoint, and what makes sense, not from the, I want to build and get a one-time close construction loan from you, but no builder will even give me a ballpark price. Okay. Well, we got to look at it, Brian. We can definitely give you the loan. We have the programs, but yeah, I mean, the thing is, really the first step is, finding out obviously where you want to do this at, what location, and then getting you pre-approved to figure out what do you qualify for, and then sit down with the builder, and then we can figure out, what, the floor plan, the cost budget, the lot, stuff like that, and put it all together. Because yeah, I mean, depending on the house, man, you can spend a lot of money per square foot, or you could be more conservative, depending on what your budget is. I mean, some houses are 400 square feet, some houses are 1,000 a foot, some houses are 150 a foot. So they're all over the place, right? But yeah, definitely reach out to us. Call or text us at 832-431-633, and we want to talk to you and help you. If we can help you with your construction to build your home, I mean, that's why we're here. So, and talking about, cheapest places to build or most affordable, the measurement is the most affordable places to build. So, and they're all kind of wrapped around like that number that you just mentioned, Brian, around 150 bucks a foot. I remember when houses were 80 bucks a foot, 25 years ago. Now it's obviously not the case. I mean, they've skyrocketed, everything's skyrocketed. But anyway, Tennessee's on the list again. So Tennessee again, voila, best place for investors, best place for building. Tennessee's a great area. A lot of upside in Tennessee. Some other areas, Oklahoma's on that list too. Michigan's on that list. Ohio's on that list, because these are areas that, they're not as heavily saturated yet with people compared to, Texas, Florida, California, stuff like that. So there's still opportunity there. And I'm not talking about the economics or the job prospects, education, any of that things. I'm just talking about from a cost of living to build a home. And obviously there's places on there like Arkansas, which I think is a great area. Alabama, I think, is a very good area too. I think Alabama is a great place to look at building. Some areas that Arkansas was, I'm sorry, Alaska was on that list. But Alaska's a different. I don't know much about Alaska. I've been there before, and I didn't really care for it. Oh, Chris, but I don't see the value in investing in the area. Uh, well, but I can tell you, I've been to Memphis. Um, I've never lived there, and I understand what you're saying. I see your point. The thing is, though, is what I'm seeing is, when you have a lot of big money going over there to invest to build, very large developments like, multifamily, 500 units. I've seen this for the last 5 years. When they're redoing downtown Memphis to make it look nicer. There was a building that we had sold on a foreclosure, and they redid it. It was an old garage, a mechanic shop, and they redid it into a real estate office and made it beautiful. So you're seeing a lot of cleanup, a lot of gentrification, and a lot of money flowing over there. And so obviously you grew up there, you live there, you might know more about it, the ins and outs, the pockets of Memphis. But when I see a lot of money flowing over there, a lot of people doing deals, that tells me that something good is happening over there. I don't know everything about it, but a lot of the reports that we get is that there's a lot of investors going over there to do deals. Now, obviously, if you live there, you know more about it than probably anybody else. But I still the data. There's some good data about it, but maybe there's good and bad about everything though. There's good and bad about Florida and Miami. Good and bad about Los Angeles. Good and bad about Austin. Dallas. Atlanta. Atlanta's got good places. Got bad places. I mean, you just got to find where the opportunities are at. So, because the one thing is a lot of cities that are really built out, it's hard to find good deals. That's what we're saying. Like Austin. Oh, you're in Atlanta, yeah. Atlanta's a good. Georgia's a great state. Yeah, Georgia. I think Georgia is a really good state for many things. So, North Carolina is a good state. Yeah, actually, North Carolina was on that list for best places to invest and build. So North Carolina is a really good area, and we do all different types of loan programs over there. All-in-one HELOC, investor cash flow, DSCR, non-QM loans, conventional FHA, VA, all different types of products that we can lend to. We lend nationwide, so we lend in Georgia, we lend in North Carolina. We do construction loans, so great areas to build. So, some of these areas like Alaska, South Dakota, I don't know about the living situation over there, or how good that is, but they're on the list too. I've never really done much business in South Dakota, but it looks like it's I know Sioux Falls is there, and there's some good things about it, but the main areas that I'm talking about, like North Carolina, Georgia, Tennessee, Texas is still a really good area. So those are hot areas. And then, moving over to, like, if you're a first-time buyer, we have first-time buyer programs too. If people are needing down payment assistance, there's some great areas still, like Florida, where you can still get good down payment assistance programs. In Georgia, the Georgia Dream program, down payment assistance if you're trying to buy your primary residence, you're a first-time buyer. Arizona is a great area still to buy a house in some areas. Not all. Some parts of Arizona are very expensive, but there are still some really good parts of Arizona that you can invest in. So Alabama is another one, another great state to buy in, because really what you're looking for is, if you go where everyone else is, then that's kind of like a crowded pool. But if you can go and try and time a market to get in there where it's emerging, like Montgomery, Alabama, like Nashville or whatever, then you can get in when it's kind of on the upside. Then you can cash out when it gets, and you're never going to know when the top is, but you can still capture some of that upside opportunity. But look what happened to Austin. Austin's been on a decline the last 6 months. Home prices are dropping. I think it's down like 6% for the year. Does that make Austin bad? No, it doesn't mean Austin's bad. It just means that it was overpriced, and now there's a correction. Now maybe a time to get in when prices get a little bit cheaper, because Austin is still Austin. It'll never change. It'll never go away. It's still one of the greatest places in the country to live. And same thing, just like whatever. I mean, Las Vegas is another great city. I think that has a lot of upside. I think Las Vegas is a very good area. You got a lot of stuff going on there. It's a great area for economics, entertainment. Living, I think, is good. There's a lot of stuff there to do. I wouldn't live there, but I think it's a good place to live. Not because I don't like it; it's just not my cup of tea. I can go there, a couple times a year and hang out, but I wouldn't want to live there. But I think it's a great place for a rental property, for sure, 100%. Especially like you see things that are happening in Vegas, like when there's big events there. Okay. That's awesome, Adrian. Yeah, give us a call. We'd love to talk to you about the First Lien HELOC program. You can call or text us at 832-431-6333, and we'd love to talk to you about, the First Lien HELOC program. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things that you can. That's another thing that a lot of people are doing. They are cashing out on their properties, or they're getting lines of credit so they can buy more properties. I think that's very smart to do, because that equity in your house right now isn't really doing anything for you. But if you can tap into that equity and parlay that over to another deal, then you can kind of really increase your net worth, double up on your income, and really grow it. If you could take the equity out of your house and buy 3 more houses, then you really increase your game. And that's really what you're trying to do. But you got to be smart about it. And, depending on what you're buying, whether it's single family or multifamily, I would say if you're new at it, not a bad idea to start with 1 or 2, or partner up with someone that you trust and, that has experience, and learn from him or her. So, yeah, but anyway, that's kind of the agenda of the stuff that I wanted to talk about tonight. If we can help you, whether you're trying to build a house, you want a line of credit, HELOC, whatever, reach out to us. We definitely want to talk to you to see what we can do to put something together for you. Call or text our office. We're open 7 days a week for you. It's 832-431-6331. Now, I think there's a lot of opportunities right now. It looks like a lot of the data that we're seeing too, that, and obviously nobody knows, I don't know, but if interest rates do improve or they get better, it could be more of an appetizing market because home prices have come down. If rates go down further, it could be a great time, to time it, lock in your rate, get a deal, get something good, because there are some great deals out there right now. So if you find something, it might be a good time to lock in. So anyway, I'm glad that you guys watch the show and the channel. We work very hard to give you all great content. We've been doing this now for lending since 2005 and doing the channel since 2015. And we have, I think, about 9 million hours viewed on the channel. I think almost 1,400 videos. A lot of content to help you guys out there, give you the knowledge, the information, so you can get better, so you can grow and expand. So appreciate all of you guys watching and tuning in. We do our show every Thursday live, and then we have a few videos that we roll out every week. We talk about different things about the market, real estate, loan programs, stuff like that. So if we can help you, don't be a stranger. You can reach out to us at 832-431-6331. You can call us there. You can also text us there. And if we can help you with, getting you a loan program, or give you some information about loan programs and get you a pre-approval, or help you, work with you to get your situation structured so you can get qualified, we're happy to do that too. Just reach out to us, We'd love to visit with you, take a look at what you got, and then come up with a plan to help you out. We'll be back next Thursday to talk more. And if there's anything you guys have questions about, reach out to us. Don't be a stranger. Appreciate all of you guys watching the show and the channel. Have a happy, safe 4th of July. Enjoy the holidays with your family. And we'll be back next week. Take care and peace out.